It's Ryan Gibbons here with the Gibbons team, eXp Realty, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about inspections. Just did one the other day in Hackensack on a cool old house. You know, we did find some issues with the house, but just got me to thinking that I should relay a little bit of information on what an inspection is, when do you have it done, and what you should expect from it. So the first thing is after you find a home to purchase and you agree on a price and you get through the attorney review period, which is where both attorneys make changes to the contract, you do a home inspection and you'll hire a licensed inspector in the state of New Jersey. You want to find someone that's reputable. If you don't know an inspector, then you should be speaking to your real estate agent to find out, who a reputable inspector is in the area and who's going to do a good job. And it's important to find someone reputable. It's also good to find someone who's going to do a thorough job, but is also not going to be an alarmist. So it's very easy to look at a house and say, oh my gosh, there's a million things wrong, you need to run out of here. Excuse me. But if you have the right inspector, that inspector knows what things are big items, what things are small items, and what things to educate you on. So it's very important to find the right inspector when you're purchasing a home. So what will happen at the inspection? So inspection, depending on the size of the home, could take typically an hour to 3 or 4 hours. So if you have a small house that's in good condition, it might not take that long. But typically, rule of thumb, it's going to be about 2 hours. And they're going to go through the entire house. They're going to start on the outside typically. They're going to look at your roof. They're going to look at drainage issues. They're going to look at the foundation, siding, all the things on the outside of the house that might be an issue. So you want to be mindful of the roof. You want to be mindful of any maybe shingles that are coming off, any drainage issues that are going towards the house that could result in any water penetration. And you also want to be looking out for insects. The big thing in our area is termites. Termites are all over our area. Most people have some sort of plan with an insect company. So the property typically has been treated, but if it's not treated, then you could get termites into the home and they could do tons and tons of damage. So it's very important to make sure that you don't have termites. And if you don't, it's still advisable to have some sort of treatment done and have some sort of preventative maintenance to make sure that you don't have termites going forward. Because like I said, they can do a lot of damage to your home in getting into the structure of your home. And they could do a lot of damage and really cause structural damage to your home. On the inside, main things that they're going to be looking at is your heating system, your air conditioning, plumbing. Again, they're going to be looking at the roof from the inside, and they're going to go through the house. And it's very important that you be there so you can learn a lot about the house. It's not just finding the things that are wrong about your home. It's also about finding out what you need to know about the general maintenance of your home. So how often should filters be replaced? How often should you be having your chimney cleaned? All of these things can be answered, and they're there to answer your questions. They're there to help you as best you can understand your home, the condition of it, and how are you going to maintain that home over the course of time that you're purchasing or that you're living in the home. And if you're a first-time buyer, it's even more important because you don't know those little things that need to be done in order to care for your home. So make sure you go through with the inspector, make sure you check those things out. Another thing that they're going to be looking for is any evidence of an oil tank. And oil tanks are not necessarily a problem, but they can be a problem when they're buried in the ground and if there's any sort of leakage. So if you do have leakage in an oil tank, it can cost tens of thousands of dollars and it can be a big, big headache. So when you are purchasing a home, if there is any evidence that there might have been an oil tank or you're not sure, it's always advisable to have a tank sweep done. Costs about $250, but it's a very, very worthwhile thing to do to check out. We have found oil tanks in the area. Most of the time they don't leak, and it's really not a big job to get them out. We're talking a few $1,000s as opposed to tens of thousands of dollars for remediation if you do find them later. So whoever owns the home is responsible for that, taking care of getting rid of that oil tank or any remediation. So you don't want to buy a home and then find out that you have oil penetration into the lawn, which then would be your responsibility. There's no going back and saying, I didn't know. So if you do have any evidence, if you have any thought that there might be one there, or if you don't have documentation that one was removed, you're going to want to have that checked out. So bring in a tank company, they can check that out. But as you go through, you're going to find out the little things that you should be aware of and the big things. And now that you've done the inspection, the inspector is going to send you a detailed report. They're going to send you pictures, they're going to send you recommendations, and they typically will give you bullet points of the major things that they found in the home. So at this point is your opportunity to address those things. If there are major things wrong with the home that do affect the value of the home, say, a chimney that's falling down or a roof that's leaking, or there's serious water penetration, things that you didn't know when you saw the home, those are things that you can then address. And you have a few means of handling those things. You can ask the homeowner to fix them. You can ask for a credit. So after closing, you can have those fixed. You can walk away. So if it really is something that's a big deal and you realize this is not a house that I want to purchase, you can walk away. So that, those are some of the, and also you can ask to change the price, which is essentially what would be, a concession. So you do have those opportunities. Now, the inspection is not done so you can basically bring down that price. You don't go into an inspection thinking, okay, I'm going to get $10,000 back from my asking price because I think I paid a little bit too much. The inspection is to find out material defects in the home that affect the value of the home, and secondary, for you to have education on what you know about the house and what maintenance that you need to go through. So if there are major issues that you need to address, you're going to speak to your attorney and you're going to speak to your real estate professional, and they're going to walk you through that. So there's a right and a wrong way to handle those things, and you want to make sure that you're handling those properly. So inspection is one of the most important parts of purchasing a home. You should do it on a condo. You should do it on a new construction. You should do it on an older home. Anytime you purchase a home, you should be doing a home inspection to understand what is happening in that home, how the systems are working, and what maintenance that you're going to need going forward. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions about any of the information on an inspection, if you need recommendations for an inspector, please just let me know. My number is 201-446-8190. Again, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a great spring, and we'll see you soon. Take care.